to get familiar with this concept, I want you all to tell me where you are, where are you calling in from? I know a lot of people are from the UAE, especially Dubai, but I want to hear it from you. So type in the chat box. This time, try to choose all panelists and attendees so I can see all of your answers here as well. From Jordan, hi Tasneem, that's awesome, welcome. I had a couple of ladies from Jordan and Kuwait last time as well. Dubai, perfect. We have from Dubai, we have from Abu Dhabi, we have from Jordan. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of Dubais. I know a lot of, most of our ecosystem partners, I've been doing this business for 7 years now. So most of our partners are mailing list, people who know about this masterclass, they are in Dubai. So I am guessing that a lot of you are from Dubai. Sometimes I'm going to share my screen very soon with you when we start the presentation. Sometimes you see me pause, that's because I'm drinking my water. So don't disappear, stay with me. I'm just taking a sip of my tea or the water. All right, so we have a lot of people from Dubai, we have from Abu Dhabi, we have from Jordan. That's awesome. Welcome to all of you. I'm going to put the chat box down now so we can start the presentation. As I mentioned, you can ask all of your questions in the Q&A box that you can see at the bottom of this page, and I'm going to answer them after each step and by the end of this presentation. Let me now share with you. I'm going to stop my video so you can see my screen. Give me a second. Okay, I'm sure you can still hear me well. Oh, and more people are joining, which is awesome, right on time. Okay, let me share the screen with you. Awesome. Let's do this. The 5 steps to start and grow a successful business. Let's do it. Okay, before I start, I want to ask you all to please turn off your email, Skype, iTunes, any tabs that you have open, any other distracting programs. I know that we're all multitaskers. Just silence your phone, tell your family, colleagues that you need the next 90 minutes to learn some amazing tools to increase the quality of your business. And they're gonna thank you later for taking this time for yourself. So just grab a pen and paper and please give me your 100% attention. I want to give you as much as I can and all of the learnings that I had in the past couple of years. I have to definitely thank you for being here today with me. I know how busy everyone's schedule are. I acknowledge you for investing this time with me to reveal to you some of my learnings in the last 7 years since I started 4 businesses. And I'm gonna tell you all about it. I'll do everything in my power to make it worth your time. And I promise you, this 90 minutes will go past so quickly. And I hope that this webinar will serve you in getting your message out there. That's the most important thing for all of us. Before I start, I want to know my audience better. So again, in the chat box, I can see all of your answers. Tell me how many of you have already started your own business. Again, if you choose panelists and attendees, everyone can see your answers. So this is a chance also to introduce yourself. Just tell me the name of your business and if you have already started a business or you're thinking to start a business. For me also to know you a little bit better. So just type in your answers in the chat box and I'll give you a shout out as well. How many entrepreneurs do we have in the room and how many of you are planning to start a business? What's your concept and what are you planning to do? So tell me the name of your business. And also what I want you to do is to rate for me on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you currently with your business? So these are a couple of questions that I have for you because I want to know my audience better. And if you give me any score below 6, I want you to tell me what's not working. So again, just type in the chat box. I know it's finance, I know it's marketing. What are the other things that you find challenging and you feel that it's not working for you in your business? So feel free to share with me. Anissa, travel entrepreneur, running my own business with travel counselor since 2.5 years now. That's perfect, Anissa. That's awesome. Again, I'm just mentioning this again. If you choose panelists and attendees, other people can see your answers as well. Perfect. Villa, my launch, my business, green Chic. Oh, I have to check that. An online store that provides a curated selection of organic and natural beauty products. That's wonderful. Launched in the last 5 months, score is 6. Okay, getting more customers. We all want more customers, right? Had my own business, now back with working for someone else, but planning to start my own thing again. Joanna, that's absolutely fine. I know a lot of entrepreneurs, they start a business, they understand the challenges, they go back to corporate, they learn and learn and learn, they come back, start their own business. So definitely, I'm with you. It's one of the best strategies, actually. I'm going to talk about investment, but we have a lot of investors as our partners. They always tell us that they actually prefer to invest in businesses that the entrepreneur has failed or had a couple of businesses, they stopped it and they get back into it again, because that shows that you have resilience. That shows that you're really into it and you have learned and you gain more experience. 7, finding the right type of clients. Right type of clients. That's true, Anissa. Our target audience, our customer avatar is definitely one of the things that I'm going to talk to you about it. Okay, thank you all for giving me your answers. I need to move on now, but if I get time, I'll give everyone a shout out and I'll mention the name of your business, but I just want to mention a couple of them. Let's go. I know we don't have much time, so let's get into it. Okay. You showed up today, either you're tired of working for someone else, you have a burning desire to start your own business, or you're a stay-at-home mom and dad. Last time I had a couple of men, so I was just saying ladies and mom, but I know that I have some men as well in my audience. It's about time to get back to work. You want the freedom and flexibility of entrepreneurship, or you have started a business a while ago, things aren't going the way you imagined them initially. You have a successful business and you want to grow it even more. We all want that, right? We all want to grow more every single day, and there's always room for improvement for sure. So you're in the right place if you are in any of the above categories, or if you are like Joanna, started your own business, back to corporate, you want to start again sometime soon. I have created this training for all entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs who want to offer their brilliant idea to the world and make it a better place. And that's something that I truly believe in, that the entrepreneurs make our world a better place. I have a value-packed presentation for you today. By the end of this webinar, there are a couple of things that you will discover that I want to take you through them. First of all, we're going to talk about, is your business idea viable and is it suitable for you? I know a lot of people do a lot of research, market research, but they don't really go into the next step. That is the idea suitable for me? So there are a lot of ideas out there. They might be feasible ideas, but is it the right one for you? So that's the step number 1 that we want to discuss. Having a roadmap all the time, communicating strategically with your stakeholders, tracking your numbers. I saw a couple of finance challenges in your answer, so I know that, and that's something I always get. I know that finance is always challenging, and bringing funding when you need it. I'm going to give you a couple of options that I know a lot of entrepreneurs, they are not aware of them, at how to bring that funding and money in. I have a special bonus for overachievers, for those who stay till the end of the webinar, because I know that some people will leave in the middle of the webinar. So I have a special bonus and step number 6 for those of you who stay till the end of it. I saw a couple of familiar faces. I know some of my friends actually are in participants, so they know me well, although I'm going to share some stories that even they don't know. So let me tell you a little bit about myself, especially for my new audience. My name is Mona Tabassuli. I am a serial entrepreneur. Currently, I am a professional speaker and a trainer, and we organize events for entrepreneurs. We have launched 4 businesses. These are the 4 that some of you might have heard of, even though we thought of and we implemented, like worked on business plan maybe for more than 10 ideas within our advertising agency. But Fraise Blanche is the company we launched in France. Polar Bear Creative was our first baby in Dubai in 2011. Mom Souk for moms who, new moms, especially in 2012, probably you have heard of Mom Souk, a community for mom entrepreneurs, and Mompreneurs in Middle East as well, which is a community for women entrepreneurs and mom entrepreneurs. And as I mentioned, I'm now a professional speaker, so I do a lot of training and consultancy as my own brand. So I'm going to talk about personal branding a little bit, because that's also exactly like the branding that you have for your company. Since we started, especially in Dubai, we got a lot of attention from media. We got a lot of success. in a way that society defines it. We had over 200 publications from TV to radio to magazines who wrote about us, and we got this free publicity. I never paid for media. Free publicity because they love the concept of mom entrepreneurs. So we had all of those success from the outside. And in 2011, 2013, the first 2 years, we were just trying to understand the market, find out what we wanted to do. As I said, we worked on more than 10 business ideas. We hired 9 people. We were just hoping that we will be able to pay the bills next month. That was one of the main challenges. Like when we started, when Ramadan came, when summer came, it was really getting tough. We were enjoying every minute of it, but to be honest with you, it wasn't easy. It was a lot more difficult than what we thought. So in 2014, the reality hit. We had to let go of all of our employees because we could not pay their salaries. That was one of the most difficult moments in my life because those people trusted us. I felt we let them down, and they were some of the most brilliant people to have in your team. It was very painful to let them go. We were in the 3rd year of our business when we were very close to closing down our business, forgetting about entrepreneurship altogether. And I realized that a lot of our mompreneurs weren't in business anymore too. So it's statistics that says 90% of entrepreneurs, that's 9 out of 10, fail in the first 3 years was becoming a reality for us as well. But in 2014, instead of giving up, I decided to invest in my own education to find out what happened, why it didn't work. We had passion, we had the enthusiasm, we had the team, we had the great idea, we had all of these magazines, radio, TV talking about us. So why didn't it work? That was a big question mark in my head. And I attended many conferences and events by world-class trainers. So that's when I said, okay, I'm not going to give up. I have to figure out what happened. I want to know that secret. I'm not going to let it be a question mark in my mind. I attended as many events and trainings as I could. I went to London to do Tony Robbins. I did Brian Tracy, Marshall Goldsmith. I'm part of Vital Voices, an organization in Washington, D.C., one of the most but the best organizations that I've been part of in their leadership program, entrepreneurship program, T. Harv Eker, Steve Blank, Gary Vee, Amy Porterfield. I've taken all of their courses, and these are people that probably you have heard their name because they're quite famous in their field. I was also, as I said, privileged to be part of Vital Voices in their organization that's in the US. And what I realized was that as entrepreneurs, we don't know what we don't know. That was my biggest learning. So we were doing the things we knew perfectly, like I'm very good in marketing and advertising. I work on Nestle as a brand. I work in advertising agencies such as Publicis. So marketing and advertising was perfect. But finance, even though I have 2 master's degrees and bachelor, the accounting that I studied in all of these universities in France, in Dubai, I neglected it for my own business. So what happened was that we were doing the things that we knew perfectly, but there were a lot of things that we were not even aware of. And we lost a lot of money because we did not know about those ideas. So I learned and learned and learned until I finally mastered the game of entrepreneurship. It's my mission to educate our community. So today we organize events and courses for entrepreneurs. This is our recent event, Global Mentoring Walk, in which we matched over 100 mentors and mentees together. That's in March that we did. That's me and Donna Benton, the founder of The Entertainer. She's also my mentor because for me, Donna, with 2 small children, managed to launch her business with $3,000 into a multi-million-dollar business. I'm sure all of you are aware of The Entertainer, the app that we use for buy one, get one free. So I live my mission every single day. It's very different than the life I had a couple of years ago because I found my driving force. So now I'm a serial entrepreneur, mother of 2 young boys, 6 and a 2-year-old, professional speaker and trainer. I'm part of top 100 leaders worldwide in Vital Voices. I'm mentoring E7, the young Emirati ladies at In5 and other organizations. And I am also a trainer with Facebook, She Means Business. Some of you might have heard of that. So what I believe that I want to share with you is that empowered mothers raise empowered children who are our future leaders. And it's time for you to step into the field of entrepreneurship, create something that makes you proud and also makes a difference in this world. And that's something that I want to talk to you about. I wanted you to know some of the challenges that I had. I never felt like this with any of the businesses that we launched that I feel with Mompreneurs Middle East because I have found that driving force. It's more than really just a business. For me, the ultimate goal is to create the balance and harmony in our lives, have the freedom of time, money, and choice. I have met a lot of mom entrepreneurs, a lot of entrepreneurs who finally find that business success, but along the way, they lose their loved ones. They lose that connection with their spouse, their health. They forget about exercising, etc. It's really, at the end of it, the ultimate goal is not just to succeed in our business, but to have that inner peace and inner fulfillment. That comes with the freedom of time, money, and choice. And I'll talk about that as well. Let's get into the 5 steps to start and grow a successful business now that you know a little bit more about me. Step number 1, as I mentioned, is your business idea, is it your business a viable idea, and is it suitable for you? And there are a couple of exercises that I want you to do while we are doing this. One thing that I want, if I ask all of you now, what are your values? I want you to have it on top of your mind, 5 top values that you have in your life. I know I always ask our mompreneurs these questions. I know they have to think about it. Usually like family comes on the top. They think a little bit more creativity or health. So, but if I ask you, what are your top values? You should be able to tell me in the matter of seconds, your top values. Your values are the things that you believe are important in the way you live and work. And you have to align your life with your values. In our course that we have, there is an exercise we give to everyone. Everything that I tell you, you can also Google them. So I have only 90 minutes with you. The things that are important to you, just take notes, Google them. You can find a lot more information about these exercises. But your values is something that you need to know immediately when it comes to not only your business values, your personal values as well. The second thing is, what is your why? Your why, you should be able to answer these questions. What's your purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief? Why does your organization exist? Why do you get out of bed every day? What is your driving force? Your why basically is bigger than yourself. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So when I tell people empowered mothers raise empowered children, that is something that if I have a mom in the audience, they can relate to it, because that is our why. If we want to do anything, we take it through the filter of, does it empower mothers or not? After I finalized our why, there were a lot of things that we stopped doing, and there were new events that we introduced after we finalized our why. We first started with like a full paragraph until I managed to turn it into 1 sentence after 6 months. So I don't expect you to finish it immediately, but think about your why. Something that can help you is Simon Sinek's Golden Circle. If you haven't watched it, please watch his TEDx talk that he has. He talks about a golden circle, that a lot of people know what they do, they know how they do it, but they don't know why they do it. So we have to actually go from the inside of this circle. We have to have our very strong why. Then how is why people should come to you, your USP, why are you different, and your what is basically, do you do events, courses, life coaching, organic products, but why you do it is something that usually is attached to a story as well. That's when you want to make a difference in other people's life. That's, you don't mind doing it even if it's not only for financial reasons. So for example, we give books for free to our mompreneurs, whoever that comes to our office. Of course, it doesn't bring us anything financially, but we know that it empowers them. So definitely you have to add a couple of activities that is in line with your why, which is not necessarily feasible financially. I give gifts as books, for example, to our mompreneurs. These are all the things that I know it empowers them and they make a huge difference. So these are the 3 things that I want you to have ready for your business. First is your why. Start by just writing a paragraph, why you do what you do. I do one-on-one consultancy with our mompreneurs. I know it's not clear. I have to take them to their values, why they are here, what are their passions, and then they start writing like, what is your message? This is something I ask them. What is your message? And they sit down and they write and they say, when I, for example, I have a lawyer who is joining our group now. She was saying, like, when I empower Emirati youth to become lawyers, that's when I feel excited. That's why I know I'm on planet Earth to do that. So I want you to have that strong why and vision, and for your business and for your personal life as well. Vision and mission is easy. A lot of you are aware of them. But in our roll-up, we not only have our vision and mission, but we also Our why is on our business card, everywhere we talk about it. Our vision is a world in which mothers feel accomplished and fulfilled with their lives, and they have found harmony and they feel empowered. So I don't even talk about entrepreneurship in our vision, but our mission is to empower mothers through entrepreneurial education and mompreneurship and guide them to find balance and success in their personal and professional lives. The third question that I want you to ask yourself and work on is, what is your win? And what do I mean by that? Some of you might have seen this before, but I want you to do this exercise again. Write down everything that you are passionate about, not necessarily only related to your business. Is it writing? Is it attending courses and workshops? Is it horse riding? Is it water activities? What is it that you're passionate about? Is it an instrument that you love? And write also, what are your talents? What are you good at? Is it planning? Is it marketing? Is it finance? Why do people come to you? You can also understand your talents when people come to you and ask you questions in that area. Are you a very organized person? What are your talents? Write them down. And then for market, you have to do actual market research. But we know, a lot of us, we know that whether, for example, if you're targeting mothers, we know that there are moms in every country and they are a good, but I mean, you have to do a lot of market research. It's not as easy as just writing your passion and talent, but you have to make sure that there's market for it as well. If you have the passion and talent, one thing I always ask our mompreneurs is, tell me, is your idea a hobby or a business? Because if it's a hobby, I don't want to ruin it for them. I don't want to ruin your hobbies for you, because when it comes to a business, those of you who have been in business for a couple of years, it gets tough, it gets challenging. And if it's just a hobby, I don't want to ruin it for you, because you can just enjoy it. Sometimes another reason I ask them is that I just had one of our mompreneurs who graduated. You will hear from her later, just graduated from our course. She was saying that, Mona, for the past 2 years, I was actually treating my business like a hobby, but I was expecting it to give me results like a business. And that brought so much of frustration to her, that why doesn't it work? Because it was just a hobby. She was not doing her forecasting, her strategy. She was not putting all the steps that she had to do for her marketing. It becomes really a hobby. You might be happy basically, but they say it's poor, so it doesn't necessarily bring you money. If you have the talent and market, a lot of people who go to corporates, they are in that space. There's no passion. It becomes like a job. So they say you're rich and bored. If you have the passion and there's market for it, but you are not good at it, it's just a dream. Either you go and learn those skills. So I love French language. And I know that a lot of people are out there who are looking for French teachers. But if I can't speak French, well, that's not the right business for me. It becomes a failure because I don't have enough talent for it. So one of the exercises that I want you to do is to just draw these 3 circles and write your passion, talents, and markets, and then see what are the areas that they all in the middle, which is the win. They fall into your win. I give you another example and then we move on. Is, for example, I love attending workshops. I just came back from Bali. I did a 5 days training in digital marketing from one of the world-class gurus. He makes like a $2 million every month just through his digital funnels. So he's really somebody who know all of it. It's a young, like 34-year-old Malaysian guy, but he has figured it out basically. So I learned a lot from him. I love going to these different countries and retreats to learn. But with Momsuk and Polar Bear and Fraise Blanche, that was more like an expense because I had to pay for all of these workshops, and I could only apply it in my personal improvement. But now with Mompreneurs Middle East, I basically turned that passion into a business, because whatever I learn, I share it with the community. So it really now makes sense to do all of these investments, because then I know that my audience are entrepreneurs and I can teach it back. It's not only for myself. So this is just an example to give you how you can turn something that you absolutely love into something that can actually make sense to turn it into a business. When you have a strong why and you have a win, that's when success happens. That's a fundamental. These are from fundamentals. A lot of people skip these steps, but it's one of the most important ones, because that's what keeps you going when it gets tough. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. For those of you who have been in business a couple of years, it gets tough. There are times that you really question everything and you ask yourself, does it really worth it? A lot of times the answer is no. But if you have strong why and win, that's when you overcome all of those challenges. But one more thing that I want to talk about in this step is that I want you to identify success for yourself, regardless of what others say, what the society say, because we want to make sure that your ladder is leaning on the right wall. Our time is limited and we want to make the most of it. So to give you an example, the success initially when we started the business for us was like having minimum of 50 employees to 200 employees, that big office, the biggest event production. And then over time, we realized that actually for us, success means having that freedom of time, money, and choice. So we even have a very lean team of a couple of people now. We outsource everything. The definition of success completely changed for us. It's not something that society now puts the stamp on it as success. It's something that we feel peaceful. We have that inner fulfillment. So that's something, another question to ask yourself, that what does really success mean to you? Identify it and then move towards that. If family is important, if your health is important, these are not the things that you want to neglect while we're building our business empire. All right, awesome. I'm gonna see if you have any questions before we move on step 2, and that gives me a little bit of time to drink water as well. If you have any questions, I hope this was valuable. So I love to know your feedbacks after each step as well, because I love to know what you learn and what you think after each step. Okay, step number 2 is have a clear roadmap. Thank you for sharing your feedbacks with me. I'm glad you're enjoying it. So let's get into step number 2, have a clear roadmap all the time. And what I mean by that, I'm going to share with you 3 tools that I want you to be aware of and start implementing it if you are not using them yet. One of them is, which is my favorite, is Business Model Canvas. Business Model Canvas is a one-page planning document. Just one page, has 9 modules inside it. This is something you can share with your team. This is something, when I start my video again, and the behind me, there's a huge business model canvas that we printed for our office. You can write, it's like a whiteboard. You can write on it. You can put Post-it on it. It's something that really helps you to have that overview of your strategy, overall strategy, that you can also share it with your team. I know that some of our entrepreneurs, they printed a huge BMC, and all of the employees have to come up with new ideas for each of these modules every week and come and put it on a Post-it, and everybody has a different Post-it color. So you can really become creative around business model canvas, or BMCs. I might call them BMCs. I'm going to go through them very quickly, but you can find a lot of videos online. The course that we have, Mompreneur Rising, the base of it is actually BMC. You have to complete your business model canvas by the end of it. That's how much I believe in this tool, because I know that it gives you a lot of clarity. Let's go through the modules very quickly. Customer segment is, I want to be very clear of who are your customers. And I always advise our mompreneurs to not have more than 2 customer segments, maximum 3, because let's be honest, our resources are limited. So if you want to serve everybody, then the chances of really getting into the right people is very low. But so for example, when we say entrepreneurship, anybody can be an entrepreneur, but we say mom entrepreneurs. I had men in my class, I had single ladies, it doesn't matter, but having a clear customer segment makes me focus on my messaging, on the colors I use, on the pictures that I use. So I want you to have 2 primary, maximum 3 customer segments, very clear. If you're a photographer, you can be, for example, I know some of our mompreneurs, they are only, let's say, doing a golf photography or horses photography or food photography. You're really specialized in your field, and then you know who are your customers are. So to identify your customer segment, you can also see what is your product, who are you serving, and then identify your customer segments. What type of relationship you want to have with them. For example, for me, it's very personal. I come talk to them. I have Facebook Lives every week. I write an article every Saturday. So they hear about me. They know who is behind Mompreneurs Middle East. If you have an e-commerce website, maybe it's completely automated and there's no right or wrong. It's just a matter of what suits you the best. So you have to identify your relationship with your customers and be clear about it. the channels that you're using, from whether do you deliver door to door, do they does all the transaction happen online? So what are the channels that you're using in order to be in touch with your customers? What is your value proposition? Why should they come to you and not to somebody else? And these 4 modules that I just mentioned, customer segment, relationship, channels, and value proposition, are more related to your marketing and product. And we'll talk about that as well. Then more into operations are your key activities, key resources, and key partners. Key activities are, for example, do you have to develop the product? For us, we conduct workshops, we have trainings, we do events. What are your key activities? I want you to write them down. Your key resources, from your human capital to your, for example, if you're a restaurant, you need to have a venue, to financials, how much money do you need? So all of these resources that you need, do you need a website? Do you need to have, how many employees do you need to have? All of these resources that you need in your business. And one tip let me give you is that you can have 2 separate BMCs, like the current ones or future one. What do you need in the future? What I do is I use different colors. So if I use green, it means the things that I already have. If I use red, it means the things that I need in the future. So the good thing with BMC is that you can really be creative and have your own system around it. You can also use it for every product. So you can have one for the company as a whole, and then you can have for each of your products as well. Who are your key partners, your suppliers, the ecosystem partners, the people that you have in your network that can help you in your business. So these 3 are more into operations, and then your revenue, how you make money, and what are your costs. Please write down everything from salaries to rents to license fee, everything. This will give you, it's very easy to do. It might take you just a couple of hours to sit down and write everything, but I promise you that it gives you a lot of clarity. In our course, we take 2 months to work on this. So everybody, we talk about each of these major modules every week, and we give them 2 months to complete it. But okay, thank you, Anissa, for sharing. I'm glad that it's valuable, and thank you all of you for your messages that you're sending. I'm glad that you're finding this valuable. So these are the things that basically you can have it very clear. And the good thing with BMC again is that you can also change it on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. It's really something that helps your business. I'm sure all of you as entrepreneurs know about business plan. A lot of people ask me, Mona, do we need business plan? It takes time, and we never use it. I heard that people just put it in the drawer, etc. I always tell them, please work on your business plan, because it's not just about the finished product at the end. It's basically about the thought process of you sitting down, working on this document. That is what matters. I made a mistake myself in 2013. I hired an agency to write my business plan. And the whole webinar today, the masterclass, is to share the mistakes that I made that I want you to avoid. Please don't do that. Please don't hire an agency to write your business plan, because that's not the point. I had a beautiful 30 pages business plan, sophisticated financials that it didn't make sense to me, to be honest with you. And you don't want something like that. What matters, I don't know how many of you believe in, have watched Secret, or you know about the whole subconscious mind and having the visualization, etc. This is like the proof, one of the practices of that. It just matters of sitting down, having that clarity of what is it that I want? Exactly. What are my, it has like there are different templates, you can Google them, but from your mission statement, your background, your product description, what is your marketing strategy? Who are your competitors? What is your SWOT analysis? Your operations, financials, timeline? It just gives you that clarity. You can visualize it. You can see it in your mind, so you can also manifest that idea. Executive summary is something that if you're looking for a loan, or if you go to investors, that's probably the only page that they read. So please invest some time on your executive summary. If they like it, then they go to other pages. Strategic planning is something that I know a lot of entrepreneurs ignore. We definitely ignored it for some time. And when I was working on Nestle, this is something that they take it very seriously. So in the big organizations, international organizations, they all have a strategic planning in place, but I want you as an entrepreneur also to take advantage of this tool that is available to us. So business plan is more of your overall strategy, and a strategic plan is, what is your strategy for this year, the upcoming year. And it's really depending on your budgeting. How is your budgeting? Is it from January to January? Is it from April to April, September to September? You do your strategic planning 2 or 3 months before, prior to your budgeting. So for example, for us, it's January to January. That's when we do our accounts. That's when we are doing our budgeting. So strategic planning comes in September, October, where you talk about your goals that you want to achieve. For example, do you want to increase your revenue by 20%? My Facebook likes to, for example, be 10,000. I want my list building from 3,000 to be 10,000. It's like the smart goals that you have, the things that you want to achieve this year. If you have long-term goals of 3 to 5 years, break it down into actionable tasks that you want to achieve in the upcoming, let's say 2018. Now is the perfect time to sit down and write all of those goals. And also you write about your weaknesses. What is it that you don't have? What is it that you need to outsource? What is it that you need to learn? So you start thinking about everything that needs to be done in the next year. Perfect. So now we talked about 3 tools that you can use in your business, from business model canvas to your business plan and your strategic planning. And I want you to please, again, this is one of the fundamental steps, to not ignore it. Don't let this masterclass just to be something that you learn about. I want you to take action, and I want to implement all of this learning. So please take notes of the actions, whether you're going to learn more about the subject, if you're going to find out what are your values from step 1. There are many, many assignments, many, many exercises you can do online. Write the actions you are going to take after this masterclass immediately. Don't ignore that, please. All right, perfect. Again, feel free to share your thoughts with me as we're going through this. Step number 3 is you need to communicate with your customers strategically. I can talk about marketing and advertising for days because that is my expertise. But I'm going to make it very quick for you and give you at least one question that you need to ask yourself before you start any of your marketing strategies. I know a lot of entrepreneurs. We worked with more than 1,500 entrepreneurs in the last couple of years. I know that a lot of them, they do social media because everybody else is doing it. They do a newsletter because everybody else is doing it. There's no real strategy behind it. I want you to ask yourself one simple question before doing any campaign: that is this campaign there to get me new customers, keep my customers, or grow my customers? Because your actions will be different. If it's get customers, it means that they don't know about you. It means that you're at the awareness stage. They have no idea who you are. You don't get the purpose of your marketing campaign. If your strategy is get customers, is not sales. So for example, your social media, if you're bringing in new audience, you don't want to sell them anything. You just want them to get to know you. So I get this question all the time. One of my social media posts, they don't convert into sales. They are just wasting my time. They are not, because you're attaching the wrong KPI, this KPI to the wrong layer of your strategy. Get customers is just your KPIs are what are my YouTube, the number of my YouTube subscribers, people who joined my mailing list, people who watched my live Facebook videos, people who liked, people who shared. How did I engage with my new audience? You don't want to sell it to them. I always tell our mompreneurs that imagine you go on a date, like, no, please don't go on a date if you're a mom. What I mean is that imagine you had gone on a date with a guy and then somebody came and the first date said, I want to marry you, right? We would all freak out because you don't want to sell to your customer immediately. You have to get those customers and nurture them, give them content, give them value, give them time to get to know you, for them to decide that you are the right partner to them, for them to decide that you're adding value to their lives. And then if they are interested, they will turn into customers. If you want to keep your customers, that's when you introduce loyalty programs. Again, your KPIs when you keep your customers are different. How many people, for example, they came back to my events? How many people, what is my open rate for the newsletters that I send? These are the things that you check for the KPIs that you check for your keep customers. And to grow your customers, whether it's through referrals, cross-sell, next sell, upsell, so the advertisement that you have for example, on Facebook, for the people who know about you, who are already the fans of your page, so they are basically the warm audience, is different than people who have no idea who you are. Give those people some time, nurture them, add value to their life, for them to decide whether you're a right partner for them or not. Other things that, again, I have very short period of time with you. Please do more research about all of these names. I'm giving you more of an overview, and then I trust you that you will go attend workshops, train, hire somebody, whatever that you want to do. But as an entrepreneur, you need to be aware of who is your customer avatar. Again, I give Nestle as a brand because all of you know about the brand. At Nido, for example, at all of the brands, we had an exact, that's something we do now for our business as well. Who is your ideal customer? Give it a name. For us, it's like Mariam. She's 35 years old. She has 2 kids. She has a very busy lifestyle. She's working, imaginary person. But you say, okay, that is my ideal customer. So you have to have that clarity in your mind that these are the characteristics of my ideal customer. What is your value proposition? Why should that Mariam or your customer come to you and not somebody else? Why are you different? What type of relationship you want to have with that person, and what are the channels you use? So for example, if I am targeted to moms, I can go to different Facebook groups that has like moms groups, and that gives them the ability to target the right audience. Digital marketing, I told you that I just came back from Bali, 5 days of just learning about digital, which is really fascinating for me, because digital marketing is beyond the SEO and SEM and social media. It's really more of a strategy that you have about what type of online presence you want to have, your list building strategies, your SEO or SEM and SEO, search engine marketing, search engine optimization. And these are all the things. I lost more than 18,000 dirhams only because I hired the wrong agency to do our SEO for Momsouk. So I told you that we made a lot of mistakes. We paid a lot for all of these mistakes that we made. My mission is to educate entrepreneurs so they will not make the same mistake. It will save you a lot of money when you know everything about all of it. Even if you don't do them yourself, you need to be aware of the definition of all of this and how to measure them. You need to know the KPIs. You need to be on top of everything. Don't just let an agency do everything for you. Ask them questions and monitor it constantly. Using social media for your business and your digital KPIs and tracking, which is the power of digital, basically. Let me tell you something, for example, I learned in Bali as well recently. This guy that I mentioned, he has 2 million Facebook followers. And just by retargeting that he uses on his Facebook, he tells Facebook, now target everybody who watched my video for more than like 50% of my videos, liked on my posts, shared comments, shared my post, made a comment on my post. And they made, like Facebook creates a list of 6 million people for him. So even though he has 2 million followers, just by being able to retarget all of these, now he has a list of 6 million people that he has targeted. That's the power of digital. That's something that all of you, even with small numbers on Facebook likes, you can retarget those people. It's very, very powerful. Okay, let's get into step number 4. If you have any questions, have you learned something new? Just share your feedback with me. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're finding it valuable before we go into step number. Oh, I'm glad you are enjoying you're welcome. All right, thanks for sharing your feedback. It energizes me as well. Perfect, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Let's get into finance. All right, your numbers. I know if you have accountants or CFOs in my audience, I apologize because I made this super duper simple for my audience. But if you hate finance and numbers, I have a good news for you, that it's something that now you can, my goal is to make our mompreneurs friends with their numbers. In the Mompreneur Rising course that we have 2 sessions on finance. And I'm not kidding that a lot of people get sick or something happens or they have an accident when it comes to the finance session. So usually like people disappear. And I tell them, I give them this warning that nobody is allowed to get sick. Even if you're sick, you have to attend the finance session. So it's like unconsciously they create something to avoid learning finance. But I'm going to make it super simple for you. Two definitions I want you to have is the difference between your bookkeeping and accounting. Bookkeeping is something that anybody can do. Ask your nephew, niece, an 18-year-old cousin that you have. Do it yourself. Ask an admin. It's just a matter of processing, the process of recording your financial transactions, but all of it. So if you buy, for example, some pen and pencil for your work, 10, 20 dirhams, write it down. So apart from, let's say, your overall expenses of rent and license and, the furniture and computer, I want you to get into the habit of tracking and recording every single thing that you do. So please, in the list of actions that I hope you're taking note and you're writing them down, write to open an Excel sheet or a Google Doc document, share it with your team member or do it on your own if you're just starting out. Just get into the habit of processing, the recording of financial transactions, everything that comes in and everything that goes out. Accounting is beyond that. Accounting is the process that involves recording, interpreting, classifying, analyzing, reporting, summarizing your financial data. With accounting, you will know if your idea is feasible or not. With accounting, for example, if your event, does it actually make sense to conduct that event or not? There are 3 financial statements. There are only 3 of them that I want you to know about and be aware of them and track them. I know a lot of people get confused between income statement, profit and loss, and P&L. They are all the same thing. Just because finance wasn't complicated enough, we decided to give it different names so people get even more confused. The ladies and gentlemen, I know I had men in my audience last time. Ladies and gentlemen, they're all the same thing. So if your accountant comes to you and says, give me your income statement, or he or she might tell you, give me your profit and loss or P&L, they mean the exact same document. And the second document I want you to know about is your cash flow statement, and the third one is balance sheet. In our class, we share templates of the income statement and cash flow statement, and balance sheet is something I wouldn't worry about if you're just starting out. You can then hire an outsource accounting firm to come and, let's say, just monitor everything every quarter. But if you're just starting out, definitely I want you to have your income statement or profit and loss ready and your cash flow statement as well. In our class, we ask our mompreneurs to have at least 1 year of their P&L or profit and loss ready, because that shows how feasible is your idea. You have to put all of your revenue, the projected revenue as well. So because we have 2 finance sessions also, in the second session, we give them some assignments. Second session, they have to actually come with their numbers. I had one of the ladies who said she needs to sell. So when she joined the class, she said she needs to sell 20 items for her to be profitable. We did her finance and she had to sell 200 items. That's a huge difference. I know that a lot of entrepreneurs, they don't consider a lot of things when they're starting out. I have another example for you. One of the ladies who joined our class, her brother-in-law was giving her a very good price, almost free of charge, because all of her printing items, because they had a printing press company. After the brother-in-law closed down the business, her pricing was not making sense anymore because she didn't actually put the real cost that was involved into printing all of those boxes and labels, etc. So these are all the things that you need to consider from day one, because it makes a difference in your pricing. We just had a session last Saturday about VAT and tax for our Mompreneur Rising alumni. And ladies, please make sure that now with tax coming, you have your numbers sorted from day one, because it makes a huge difference in your pricing and the feasibility of your business. So your income statement tells you if your business is profitable or not. But around more than 70 or 80% of businesses that fail, they are actually profitable businesses. But entrepreneurs, we don't manage our cash flow statement properly. So for example, if you're working with an international company, very huge name, they usually, or government, they pay the invoices after 30 to 60 days. But as a small company, you have to pay your suppliers immediately. So that 30, 60 days, you have to find ways to basically survive. I had somebody ask me a question last time that, like, we're in crisis now. What do you think? And I told her that actually you have to think about all the crises 6 months in advance. So for example, you have to think of all of these strategies, financial strategies in advance, so you will not reach into the crisis, because that's when it becomes, a lot of businesses close down because of these reasons. And I'm going to tell you a couple of reasons that startups fail. So hopefully you will avoid those. Step number 5 is about bringing in the funding. Was finance easy? Is it now easier? Share with me your feedback. Does it feel at least like these 3 financial statements? Do you feel that you can do this? You can learn about only these 3 financial statements and you can implement them in your business? I'm glad. Perfect. And there are templates. Like, we made it super easy for our Mompreneur Rising alumni. We give them templates. They just need to fill in basically the figures, but it gives them so much clarity after they do it. So it's not only about recording your numbers, but also forecasting and knowing what's coming up in the next couple of months for you. The step number 5 is bringing in the funding that you need. I'm going to share with you getting easier to do financing. I'm glad, Villa. That's the whole point, to make things easier. I know as entrepreneurs you already have a lot on your plate, so my mission is to make these I work with finance, so thinking about that. I'm glad. VAT coming up. It's probably there are going to be a couple of hiccups at the beginning, but I'm sure we will all get used to it as well. I'm attending another conference this evening about VAT and tax, so I will see what are the new things that I will learn. We're all waiting for the new news coming up as well. Step number 5 is the funding that you need, and I'm going to give you a couple of options because I know a lot of entrepreneurs are not aware of them, or there are words that you hear but you might not know the meaning or the difference between each other. So I'm going to again make it super simple for you, give you the definitions, because as entrepreneurs, at least you need to be aware of the definition of these things and know your options, what is available to you. Bootstrapping means that you're using your own money. So you have an investment of, let's say, 100,000 dirham, $100,000. You are putting that investment, and then afterwards, the company you basically reinvest back the revenues into the company. So you're not having anybody else, any other shareholders but yourself or your co-founders. So if it's only you and you have a couple of co-founders, but you have never got funding from an outside entity, you are basically bootstrapping. So that's the definition of bootstrapping. If you go to an investor and they ask you, are you bootstrapping? This is what they mean. Are you using your own money? Triple F is family, friends, and fools. And the meaning that they say fools, I don't think they're joking about it. I think what it means is people who basically don't do their due diligence. They don't ask you to come and present in front of them. They're not going to ask you hundreds of questions. They don't ask for your financials, 5-year financials and business plan. This is like basically your father, your brother, a family member, your husband. You're sitting at a dinner table with your friends. You tell them, I have this brilliant idea. And then you tell them, okay, do you want to be a part of it? I give you, let's say, 10% of the company and I need $100,000. They're not going to probably ask you about valuation, the term sheets, etc., because they don't even know about that. They're not like professional investors. They just love you. They trust you. They see an opportunity. They invest. That's like your family, friends, and fools, people who don't do their homework before investing in the company. Crowdfunding, there are many platforms available. Basically, with crowdfunding, you are talking about your idea either online, mainly like crowdfunding to be successful, they do it online. So you share your idea, you create a video, let's say you create your pitch deck, and then people can come and invest in your company. And there are 3 types of crowdfunding that I want to talk to you about. One of them is donation based for charities, so contribution made with no return. So these are like you're doing fundraising for a charity, and the investors really don't want anything out of it. They just want to help, and it's very common for nonprofits. Reward based are contribution made in exchange for an incentive or a reward. So a lot of, again, nonprofits or social enterprises or new ideas. So for example, you say you invest $10, I give you a t-shirt. You invest $100, I give you, for example, a signed t-shirt. So they're not getting equity, but you are giving them something in return. That's a rewards based. The third type of crowdfunding is equity based, where you actually give them shares in your company. So they become part owners. They will own part of your company. Well, that could be 1%, it could be 10%, depending on how many shares they buy. So these are your options for crowdfunding. I believe the crowdfunding campaigns that are successful are when entrepreneurs, they already have a very good following. So people are already aware of what they do. Because the truth of the matter is, I'm going to talk about the VCs later on. So if you have a good following and you have very good products, then crowdfunding could be very successful. Otherwise, it might be a lot of people, like they say, that can waste a lot of time if you don't position it properly. I want to tell you about angel investors and VCs, because I know a lot of entrepreneurs, they don't know the difference of them. Angel investors are those who are investing their own money into your company. And that's why they're called angels, because they're taking the risk. They know 9 out of the 10 businesses fail. There's a funny example that, like, if you go to a casino and gamble, there's 50% chance that you win. With entrepreneurship, there's like 90% of a chance that they might fail. So the investor, really, they're taking a huge risk investing their own money into your business. There are a couple of angel investor groups here. Womena is one of them. Wayne is one of them. And the angel investors can invest from $5,000 to $100,000, $200,000 in businesses. Usually the investments are not huge. I see a lot of into $100,000 and $200,000. Usually that's the amount that angel investors invest in your organizations. VCs, it's a completely different story. Usually what happens is you raise a couple of rounds of investment, not always, but that's a common step that a lot of entrepreneurs take. Let's say they go to angel investors, they raise $100,000, they work under valuation, the term sheet. The second round of funding, they go to a VC, they raise, let's say, $1 million, $2 million, or we have heard like $200 million, $300 million. Kareem, I think, is the example of a startup that is raised a huge amount of money from different rounds of investment fundraising that they did. I don't want to confuse you, but there is like, each of them have a name as well. So it's like seed funding, and then there's Series A, Series B, Series C. These are all different rounds of investment steps that the entrepreneurs should take in order to, when they go to VCs. One thing we work with our entrepreneurs in our course is to make sure that they are aware of all of these steps. But I don't want to confuse you for now. VCs, the difference again with angels is that it's not their own money. They have done fundraising, and they got the fund from different individuals or companies into the company. So it's basically an organization that invests in your money rather than an individual. And the amounts that they usually invest in starts from $1 million and above. I wouldn't advise you to go to banks if you're just starting out. They also mention it that they only serve like SMEs, and the definition of SMEs with startups is very different. So if you're just starting out, ignore banks. But basically, when you grow, that's an option that you have to get loans from them and grants. There are a lot of competitions happening, especially for women entrepreneurs, especially if you're a social entrepreneur. They give you $50,000, $100,000. I know one of our mompreneurs, when we met on Saturday, we all share our success stories. She raised 130,000 dirhams from one of the competitions in Jordan. She's from Jordan. So 130,000 of without giving any equity, just winning that competition, it can help your business. I personally won like $10,000, $8,000. It's not a huge money, but it definitely helps you to push especially your marketing. So don't ignore grants. Go and see what are the local and international. The grants that I won, they're all from Vital Voices in the US. They're not necessarily locally. There's a Cartier award that they give like $100,000, if I'm not wrong, or $50,000 to the winners. And in Jordan, they're very active. Each country, they have their own grants that they offer. Please, before going to an investor, make sure you have your pitch deck ready. Pitch deck is a presentation that you need to prepare. It's like usually 10 to 15 slides. It has everything from your marketing to your product to your financials. Our course, which I'm going to tell you about it as well, the promise is that you will have your pitch deck ready and people have to actually present by the end of the course, because I know how important is your pitch deck. We talk to a lot of investors and they always tell me that when entrepreneurs come to us without doing their homework, because what they say as well, which is very true, ideas are not worth anything. Anybody can come up with an idea. It's the execution, it's the team, it's what you do with that idea that matters. So you have to make sure that you have everything ready. Please have your business plan ready, your financials, your 3 months financial, 3 months, minimum 3 years of your financials ready before going to investors. Even if you want to go, for those of you in Dubai, let's say In5, which is an incubator. If you want to go to them to reduce your costs, if you don't know about them, let me know. But there are a lot of options that you have. Let's say if you join In5, they give you the co-working space, you pay a lot less for your licensing, etc. All of those you have to go and pitch to them. So you need to have your pitch deck ready. There are loads of templates online. I just wrote an article actually as well on my blog. Go to manatawassul.com and I have the template of the pitch deck on my latest blog that you can download. And I'm going to tell you more about each of the steps. During our course, as I mentioned, that's what we create, because that's how much I believe in your pitch deck. Even if you're not looking for an investor, it gives you a lot of confidence and clarity that my idea is feasible for others to invest in it. I promised you, oh my God, you guys as well all stayed, so I can see that the number actually increased since I checked last time. So thank you all for staying with me. I'm glad that, I hope you're finding it valuable. Again, share with me your feedback. I would love to know if you learned something new. These are all, what I get from people is that this is an eye-opener. When they understand their options, they know that, okay, there are other possibilities. There are things that we didn't know when we started out. And when after we learned about them, at least you know that you have these options also. Step number 6, which I promised to you, super inspiring. Thank you, Joanna. I'm glad you are. Thank you all for sharing your feedbacks. I'm really happy. As people who know me already, like this is for me, it's my mission. I get really excited when I know that at least people, by implementing these, they can go and it makes a difference in their life and in their business. It's my driving force. It's my mission. I'm happy that points me in the right direction. I'm very happy, Anissa. That's awesome. Okay. Step number 6 is surround yourself with like-minded people. And this is something that for me is very, very important, because entrepreneurship can be very lonely. Your friends change, the people that you talk to will change. And it's very important to surround yourself with people who inspire you, who motivate you. So I'm going to give you a couple of ideas. Masterminds are people usually at the same level as you in different fields. You meet on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis. You share your goals with each other. You share your vision, what worked last month, what didn't work, what you want to do, and how you can support each other. The way that you can do a mastermind, if you are in my mailing list, so every week I write an article, again a free article, and I come live every Thursday at 3 p.m. Dubai time or GST, and I talk about a new topic every week. So last week it was about your circle of genius, as I call it. Mastermind, I found the note that I sent to my group. Ladies that I met them only one time, but I knew them and I got inspired by them. I just sent them a message and said their name, like, hi, Mariam, I am starting a new mastermind group. We meet on a monthly basis. The next meeting is, let's say, in Fortnum and Mason at 12:30 p.m. on a Tuesday. That's the exact message that I sent them. Please let me know if you would like to join me. And all of the 6 ladies that I sent them this message, they said yes. Other people are also looking for that circle of genius or the mastermind group. So if you don't get invited to one, invite one. And I promise you that other people will appreciate for you to take that initiative. Your mentors are people that you look up to, and how to go with my mentors that I have, I usually know them personally. Let's say Donna Benton, the founder of The Entertainer. Donna and I have been on different panels together. She comes from from a super as a global company, and I usually share my ideas as an entrepreneur. So we know each other from different events. I just sent her an email and said, Donna, I love what you do. This is what I can do, just as a thank you, but I'd love to sit with you once a month for an hour to share with you my ideas. Again, very simple. Somebody that hopefully they know you, because this is something they're doing for free. And you can just send them an email. The possibility is that they say yes. And please, you also become a mentor in different organizations. I am giving it, basically sharing my expertise with E7, which is Young Emirati Ladies, with In5 members. I strongly believe that the more you give, the more you receive as well. So again, one of the other ways for me to give back is to mentor other people. And I always have a mentor as well myself. Coaches are the people that you pay money for, but they really sit down and ask you questions. They want to know your numbers, they want to know your strategy, and they give you solutions, and you pay for them. Business coaches are quite expensive as well. I remember for my business coach, he was charging like more than 2,000 dirhams per hour. So it was 4,000 something for 2 hours every month. But they really put you on a fast track as well if you find the right coach. Support groups are networking events that exist in any company. There are, welcome Dana. Oh, I'm glad you're here as well, Dana. I love seeing familiar faces, and I hope seeing all of you that I have never met at one of our upcoming events. So support group are people, I just talking about networking event, going to different networking events. We have, let's say, our own, we have Global Mentoring Walk, we have the GM of Nestle, we have people from Microsoft. Now go to these kind of events to create your own support group as well. All right, we are done with the 6 steps, but not yet with the presentation. I want to share with you some of the top reasons why businesses fail. This is the research that is done by US Bank, and I took the top 5 that I thought it's important for you to know. Ladies, 82% of the entrepreneurs fail because they don't manage their cash flow properly. That's something we talked about in the finance steps, because they don't have a strong understanding about their cash flow. 82% is a huge number. 78% it's because lack of well-developed business plan. That's step number 2 that we talked together, including insufficient research on the businesses before starting it. 77% not pricing it properly, something I talked about as well, because they fail to include all necessary items when setting a price. I gave you examples on that as well. 70% not recognizing or ignoring what they don't do well, and not seeking help from those who do. I told you, as entrepreneurs, we don't know what we don't know, and that's the reason 70% of them fail. 64% minimizing the importance of promoting the business properly or marketing. I have a good news for you. Now that you know these 5 steps, you are actually in the top 10% that if you apply everything, the chances of you staying in the business and thriving is much higher than other entrepreneurs or people who are not aware of these steps. So I want you to imagine that you do what you love every single day. You have found balance and harmony. That's our final goal, at least in our business. It's not only about the success in your business, but your success as a person. You have freedom of choice, money and time, and you're able to do what you're passionate about and also make a difference in the world. I strongly believe that entrepreneurs are making the world a better place, and I mentioned that to you at the beginning of my presentation as well. Now the world is waiting. It's your time to share the gift that has been given to you and only to you. So I'm asking you to please take these 5 steps seriously, do your homework, hire a coach, do whatever that you have to do, but don't just ignore it. Now, let me ask you a question. How many of you have learned something new today? So just share with me your feedback. I'd love to know as well. I'm giving my time. I'd love to know your feedback. How was these 6 steps that you learned? Well, did you learn something new? Well, that's awesome. I'm glad that you found it helpful, and I'm glad. Promise me that you will put them into action, and you will not just let it be a knowledge or a webinar that was finished. You learned something. I want you to implement them as well. So you see now that it is easy to succeed in life and business by following these 6 steps. So a lot of entrepreneurs ask me, okay, now what? Now that we learned all of this, what is the next thing? What is the next thing that we have to do? Honestly, for me as well, as we speak, I'm enrolled in 6 different Love BMC, marketing understanding, meaning, okay, great, especially the marketing and digital marketing. I'm glad that you found that slide useful. Learned about the 1-page strategy, which is your strategic planning. It's a perfect time to do it, ladies. Make sure you do your strategic planning, and to look over the purpose and the why again. That your why is something that you can always go back and make sure that all of your actions are in line with your why and with your values. So it's not a one-time thing, like every time I don't feel right, or I know that my intuition is telling me something is wrong, I always go back to my values to make sure that I'm not compromising on them. So that's why it is very important. It's like the fundamental steps that you have to do. Perfect. Thank you, ladies, for sharing your feedback with me. So for me, I'm glad that you learned from it. I hope I managed to stay true to my words, give you a value-packed presentation. I talked much faster than I usually do. Now my voice even is shaky, to be able to teach you as much as I can. The only problem that I have is that this is just 90 minutes. It's impossible. It's not possible for me to tell you everything I learned in the last 7 years in such a short period of time. That was my biggest struggle in this webinar today. So for those of you who promised me to please go and do your research, hire a coach, make sure you implement all of these, I have another solution as well for you. For some of you who want to take it to the next level, we are really passionate about entrepreneurship. It's my mission to educate as many mothers, entrepreneurs, women as possible to not go through what we went through and to not make them same mistakes that we made, because we lost a lot of money on it. To be honest with you, I just shared one of them, like 18,000 dirhams only on SEO, because we were not aware of the strategies. So we created a program specifically for entrepreneurs that, for me, the ultimate goal is that it will save their time, money, and energy. It's always smarter to learn from other people's mistakes than to make those mistakes ourselves. All the successful people that I've met, one thing that I learned from Tony Robbins as well is that model other people. Learn from those who have gone through this path before, who can show you the blueprint, because something that it might have taken them years to learn, it can take you weeks or days by just learning from them. So that is the strategy. That's something that I believe in my own life as well. So the program that we have created is called Mompreneur Rising. If it's okay with you, I'm going to share with you the details of the program that empowered myself, many of our mompreneurs, and we have more than 80 people who have gone through the course, for you to see if it's a right fit for you as well or not. Basically, I created something that I wish, and I repeat, I wish somebody has gave me that opportunity. And I had people from, let's say, zero, who are just starting out, to people who have been in business for 12 years who still benefited from this course. So basically, it's a comprehensive entrepreneurial startup program. It guides you through all of the steps that are needed, from creating your business idea to growing your startup into a successful business. My sweet spot is in businesses who are in 0 to 5 years, because I know that that's the time that they benefit most from the course. But as I said, there are people who joined after like they've been in business for 6, 7, or 12 years as well. It comes in a format of an in-person training for those of you who are in Dubai. We have been doing this course since 2014. And it was always an in-person training, but I had people from Abu Dhabi, I had people from Ras Al Khaimah who found it difficult to drive every single week. I had people from Saudi, Jordan, Kuwait, who their friends recommended the course to them. but they couldn't join the course. So I'm very excited to tell you that we're also offering the webinar version of it. All the 6 courses that I told you I'm part of, they're all webinars. They are all online. And I love the fact that I can go at 10 p.m. in my PJs, just watch the videos, learn, and implement those ideas. It's something that it empowered me as an entrepreneur, all of these courses. And it's the matter of continuous learning. For me, all of these 6 courses that I enrolled in 2017 and I learned from them, they all empower me and they put me on a fast track. Even though I invest in them, some of them are quite expensive, like the digital marketing one in Bali was $7,500. But instead of me paying that money to hire a senior person, now I know all of those strategies and I can hire somebody at a junior level. So in the long run, I actually save a lot by investing in these courses because they empower me as an entrepreneur. And now when I go to agencies, I understand their language. So they can't really just come with a plan and I just hope that it will work. I know all the KPIs, I know everything, and that's how much I believe in all of these courses. Let me tell you a little bit about the course and the steps, the modules. It has 8 main modules. We start from your business model canvas and strategic planning to your funding and pitch deck. By the end of the course, the promise of the course is not just theory. I have 2 master's degrees and a bachelor degree, and my business was about to fail. It has nothing to do with theory. What the problem that I have with a lot of universities that I always tell them on a panel is that professors come teach entrepreneurship that they have never had a business. You have to really learn it from somebody who has gone through these steps to be able to share with you not just the theory, but something that helped them in their business so they can share with you. So I believe in business model canvas, and by the end of the course, you need to have it ready. You need to have your pitch deck ready by the end of the course because you have to actually come and present it in front of our judges. You will know about all of your funding options, and you have great partners who support our entrepreneurs. You have to work on your why, win, and values. We have 2 sessions on marketing, traditional and digital. We have 2 sessions on finance. We give you templates that you need to work on from one week to another to make sure that you are forecasting all of your numbers. We have 1 session where you get to practice your pitch. We work on your public speaking, and then you have to actually pitch it in front of our judges and our audience. So I believe these are all the topics that in the last 7 years, I believe they are necessary for entrepreneurs to know about. And by the end of it, just a short period of 2 months, you will master all of them. It will start from Monday, September 25th. It will be every Monday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and it will finish on 13th of November. Enough from me. Let's hear a little bit from our alumni who have gone through the course for them to share their feedback. Most of them graduated recently, so you might not have heard of their business, but I'm sure they will become big very soon.
Dear Mona, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all you've done the last 2 weeks. I came to you with an idea in my mind. I had literally nothing, no logo, no real concept. It took me a lot of effort and hard work to get to where I am today, and you've done a great deal. To anybody out there who is looking for a program to help them boost and get into the entrepreneurial spirit, I highly recommend Mona. Thank you very much for everything.
I love all of these ladies because we become really close to each other. Marianne is from Moms First. She's going to go big very soon. So make sure you remember her name.
Hi, my name is Marianne Azari. I met Mona in an event that I attended of one of her action partners. I have heard about mompreneurs before from my friends, but I didn't really take that information seriously until I met Mona talking as one of the judge panels in an event. And she has inspired me to actually go up to her and ask her a little bit more about the course. And then, for some reason, I just didn't, go forward with investigating more about the course. And I called Mona and I asked her, Mona, can you please let me know what is this mompreneurs all about and how is it going to help me? And actually, I wasn't 100% convinced. Mona managed to explain to me what it's about, and she told me it's going to really benefit you and take you through your journey step by step and help you and guide you see your idea better. Did I know that her words were exactly a spot on of how I feel today? After completing this course, Thank you very much, Muna, for making me take this course, for convincing me to do it. It was the best thing that I have done from a professional point of view. I've learned a lot. I really recommend it for other entrepreneurs, moms or non-moms. Thank you, Muna.
Marianne is a mother of 4 young children, and she's very inspiring herself. She believes also that mothers, empowering mothers as well. So her business side is very close to my heart. I'm all about empowering moms. And ladies, this is one of the options, the course that I'm sharing with you, but I'm just recommending you to go and invest in yourself. See if this is a right fit for you. I'll be delighted to share this journey with you. But even if not, just I'm asking you to please, I didn't do this webinar for you to give you only one option of taking this course. No, I want you to go and invest in yourself, invest in your education. This is something that I tell all the mompreneurs. If I can be shared this journey and learning with you, I'll be delighted. And Sheila is another person. Let me share her feedback.
First of all, I just want to say thank you so much to Mona and Saman for all their hard work and effort. I thoroughly enjoyed the course. I met some amazing, wonderful people that I will keep in touch with. And I've been in business for 15 years and I still learn things that I didn't even know. So it was a really, really good course to take.
Tanya, you might know her. She has been in business for a while.
Mompreneur Rising was quite a journey, and it was an eye-opener on a lot of areas in my business, be it the financing, the fundraising, the accounting, and other areas. I totally enjoyed it, and it helped me see my business in a different way, and I recommend it for a lot of startups. Not even startups. I have been in the region for 3 years, and I benefited a lot from it as well. Thank you, Mona, for all this information and knowledge.
And the last one is from Asmar.
Hi, everyone. I am very, very happy to have been taking this course. I can't tell you how much grateful I am from Mona. And this course has been a big life-changing experience for me. I had started my business about 2.5 years ago, and I was stuck. I didn't know what I should do, and this course came to me as a miracle, and I'm very happy that I took it, and thank you so much for everything.
When people tell me it came to them as a miracle or a life-changing, I know that it's more than a business to me. Those of you who know me well, you know that I give a lot by, writing articles, sharing everything that I learned on Facebook Lives, doing webinars. It's really my driving force to empower you. And when people come back and tell me it made a difference in their lives, I know that we are fulfilling that mission. And that's something that your why is very important. I saw that shift from a business into a mission as soon as I had that strong why. And that's why it's very important for me, for all of you to have that strong why, because then the shift will happen and people will relate to you. They know that you're doing it. It's a cause bigger than yourself. It's exactly like going to a gym. We all know that. We all know how to exercise. We all know how to squat. We still go to an environment that people will push us. It's accountability. It's that blueprint. It's somebody else showing us the way that matters. Let me tell you what you will get and the value of it. The value is based on all the courses that I took and I paid for. So that's my benchmark. You will have access to the 8-week program, in-person training, or join live via webinar if you're in another country. Both of them work. That's the value of it. This content, it's more than $3,000. It will save you definitely more than that amount after learning everything that we will cover in the course. You will have lifetime access to the course through dedicated web portal, meaning that this is very unique about this course. Every course that I attend, everywhere that I go, I have free Facebook Lives for our alumni. It's a private Facebook group where I come and I share with them new learnings, but also we will add we're creating a membership site that you will have lifetime access to it, and we will add new videos and new trainings to this portal. So apart from the 8 topics that I mentioned, we will also have new trainings digitally every time I go and learn something new. This is another just example to show you that it's more than business to me, because I don't have to do that. I can just sell a course and then leave it there. But what I want to do is to add content through, as long as I am doing this, you will have new content. Definitely that worth more than $2,000, because that would be only one of the trainings that would worth that much. But again, I wanted to keep it low, like I put the minimum. I have 3, as a bonus, we have 3 interviews with successful mom entrepreneurs. This is a secret behind their success, how they did it, how did Donna manage to go from $3,000 into multi-million-dollar business. You have access to their secrets. You have access to their training. And these are all mompreneurs who are good friends now to me. These are the people that I can ask them questions and they want to empower other moms. So you will have access to those trainings as well. Again, having their secrets, their blueprint worth. So definitely agree with me that it worth more than $1,500 there. You will have a step-by-step roadmap, downloadable guide, start and grow your business. Every week we'll share with you new assignments, something that you can keep for yourself. So that's also a $2,500, like a plan that you will have, a solid plan for your business. So far the total value of the course is $9,000. We will have private Facebook group, community support, weekly Q&As with myself. I can't really put a price on that because it's not only me being there, it's about having that support group, people who will be always there, people who will share their success, their learnings with you. I'm not going to put a price on that. To me, that is priceless because that's a continuous learning that you're going to have, and you can use all of this in your own business as well. For those of you who will join me in the next 48 hours, I have videos about your self-mastery, because as you know, for me, success is not only your business success, but your personal success as well, on your time management, energy optimization, goal setting with a value of $1,000 to help you to make sure that you will learn about all of these concepts as well. And for the first 5 registrations, I'll have 2 private consultations with myself. My hourly rate is $550, so the value of that is $1,100 also. So far, let's just recap. You will get access to the 8-week program. You'll have lifetime access to the private web portal. You will have interviews with successful mompreneurs, downloadable roadmap, private Facebook group, self-mastery videos, and also private one-on-one session with myself where we actually sit down and do consultation together. The total value so far is more than $10,000. And if all this did was ensure that the business you create starts off on the right foot, would you agree with me that it worth more than, I definitely invested more than $10,000 in my education and my business, and the mistakes that I made was a fraction. This money is a fraction of the money that we paid for the mistakes that we made. Apart from the money, we wasted a lot of time and energy as well, because we were not aware of all of this. So you will have a clear roadmap basically in front of you. Well, obviously, I know I'm a startup myself. We were in your place a couple of years ago, in 2014 actually, when we started the course. I'm not going to charge you $10,000, even though I know and I believe that it's definitely worth a lot more than that for your business. And I had only 2 options. I had to either make like simple videos, leave the information out there without any support for everyone, but make it really cheap. Or the second option would be price it a little bit higher to only work closely and personally with people who are serious. So people who have attended our course, they know that I interview every single person. I only accept people who are serious. I don't want to waste people who are treating their business as a hobby, because it's going to get tough. I'm not going to be a very kind person during the course. I'm going to push you. I'm going to be the bad cop to push you to do everything that you're supposed to do. And we are very picky in terms of who is joining us as well. I decided that I want to only work with a few people who are serious, and I want to make sure that they will take the maximum benefit. My time is limited. I have 2 small children, a couple of businesses. I wouldn't be able to do it with a large group of people. At the same time, I want to make sure that the course is affordable still for entrepreneurs to join. So we priced it at only $1,780 finally. This is, as I said, like compared to the courses that I attended, it's one of the lower prices compared to the value that you will receive. I still understand that as entrepreneurs, even this might not be accessible to some of you at some point, no matter how serious you are. I attended a lot of courses that I managed to pay, let's say, a couple of $100 every month. And every time I got empowered, I managed to bring in more revenue. So I'm also giving an option of 6 installments of only $327 to make it really affordable to you. So with an investment of, for those of you who are in Dubai, only 1,200 dirhams per month, you will have access to all of those mentorship, everything, access to mentorship, supporting groups, the education, the templates we'll share with you, the discounts you will receive from our partners, only those discounts, they will worth more than the value of the investment that you make for the course, basically. As a next step, as I said, we are very also particular in who is joining the course, because I don't want to waste your time and money as well. What you can do is that for you to learn more about the course, see more testimonials. We had many of them. I just shared a few with you, but there are many of them on the website. You can talk to these ladies. I'm very happy to share their emails, to share their mobile numbers for you to talk to them. You can learn more about the course for you to see if it's a right fit for you or not. And then what you can do is that you can schedule basically your interview, free interview, no obligation. It's complimentary. You can just schedule your interview with me. We will either Skype or I will give you a call if you're in the UAE. We will chat up for me to learn more about what you do. And then if you see that it's a right fit for you, it's a right time for you, I'll be delighted to work with you. If I want to be very honest with you, the best learning that I had was investing in myself. And that's when everything turned. That's when we managed in 2014, after I attended all of those courses, to turn things around. And as I said, it's my mission to teach these things to other entrepreneurs as well. If I want to be very honest with you, is that I paid a big price for all of these learnings, and all entrepreneurs, we will pay regardless, one way or another. Either we attend courses and workshops, which I believe in it, investing in our education. If you see that this course is not a right fit for you, attend something else. Go to another coach. But anyways, invest in yourself, invest in your knowledge, because that's when what puts you in the fast track, and you will be that 10% that their businesses survive. So I want you to go to mompreneurrising.com. Just schedule your interview with me. We will have a chat together. And if the course is suitable for you, then I'll be delighted to welcome you on Monday. I have an Emirati lawyer who has a full-time job. She's just joining the webinars. I'm very delighted. I'm very excited that we're offering that option now. So you don't have to be physically present here. You can also have access to everything online. Although I know some people prefer in person, so you have that option also. Make sure to watch all the videos that we have for you to learn from our amazing mompreneurs who are online. Again, it's my mission to empower mothers through education and entrepreneurship, and I'll be delighted to work with you and to give wings to your mission. It's something I've been doing since 2014, and I enjoy every second of it. Before we wrap up and I get into your Q&As, I have a couple of common questions that people ask me that you might find helpful as well. So I'm going to share them with you. The first thing is people ask me, do I really need a business plan? I want you ladies to just sit down and write those 10 steps that I shared with you, a paragraph about them. That's sufficient. Don't worry about like that 50 pages business plan for now. But yes, it is important to the thought process of sitting down and writing things down. And please promise me that you will do it. Do I need to hire an accountant from day one? Not necessarily. With tax coming up, it's better to have an accounting firm on board, but you don't need an accountant from day one. With the templates that are available to you, we have simplified it, the ones that we have. You can at least use those templates and then hire accountants, outsource them every quarter. We have great deals for our mompreneurs. Outsource them every 3 months, every quarter, to come and just check your numbers, give you the reports just to make sure that you're on track. And then later on, you can hire an accountant because you have to pay for their visa, for their annual leave. Don't necessarily hire an accountant from day one. Outsource them when you need it. Where do I get funding from? I talked about that. This is something that almost every entrepreneur asks me. There are angel investors or VCs, not only locally, but worldwide. Just promise me that you will do your homework before going to them. Have your pitch deck, business plan, and financials ready. I work full-time. I don't have time to take a business course. I had many people who work full-time. We offer the course sometimes in the evening, but I know that it's actually not a bad idea to work full-time because you can learn all of these, create the foundation of your own business, and then launch it after like you have traction, after you have revenue coming in, then you can work full-time on your business. It's fine, but don't ignore the very least that you can do is learn and educate yourself from not only the courses, like in the car, I listen to podcasts, into audiobooks. Continuous learning basically is the lesson that I want you to have. I'm available. Are you available on Facebook? I am available on Facebook, yes, for the Mompreneur Rising every week and with a new topic and a Q&A session. And every time you have a question, I'm an email away. You can always send me an email or a WhatsApp and we will talk together. How long does it take me to finish the course? The course is 2 months and we push you to finish it in 2 months. But even if you don't finish it in 2 months because you're busy or you have many commitments, you have access to all of the learnings. So even if you just do 20% of the course, you're still ahead of, if you started, let's say in January, or if you're starting in September, at least by January you're 20% ahead, and then you can continue working on it. How long do I have access to the course? As long as I am doing this, which I'm not planning to give up, but everything will be online, everything. It's a lifetime access basically. So at any point you can just go and access everything. Can you remind me of the investment? Definitely, that's something that people usually ask me by the end of the webinar. It's only $1,780 as a one payment. You can pay through PayPal, credit cards, or bank transfer, or 6 installments of $327. Okay, now if you have any questions about the course or about your business in general or about any of the steps that we talked about your why, about your values, let me know. I'm here for the next 5-10 minutes to answer your questions if you have any questions. And if not, I want you to go to Mompreneur Rising. For those of you who see it's the right time and right fit for you, to just sign up for your interview. For people who sign up for the interview, we still give you all the bonuses that I mentioned, the one-on-ones, etc. And there's no commitment involved. So if we decide that the course is not suitable for you, or if you change your mind, you have zero obligation, but you will have access to the bonuses because you registered basically today. I'm looking forward to welcoming you to the class. For those of you who are joining, to the amazing community of women entrepreneurs that we have, and those of you other people, you will hear from me on Facebook, my articles. I would love to learn more about all of you. It energizes me basically. Okay, let me get out of the screen share so you can see my self again. Hello, I was talking for a long time, let's say. And this is the BMC that I told you about. So we have a huge business model canvas in our office with post-its, and we use that. I hope it was valuable to you, whether you join or not. It's my mission. My mission was to teach you something, a value-packed presentation. I hope I managed to do that. Let me go to the chat box so I can see your messages now. Excellent webinar. We'll email you later. Now back. Thank you, Joanna, for joining me, and I'm glad it was helpful. Definitely send me an email and I'll be more than happy to talk to you about it. You're more than welcome, ladies. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. If you have any other questions, you can always ask me. I'm a mom myself. I am an entrepreneur. I know the challenges of entrepreneurs. So if there's anything that I can help you with, just let me know. What percentage of marketing should you be using from your budget? I currently put aside 20% of my budget towards marketing. Vila, honestly, that's a very generic question. I wouldn't necessarily put a percentage personally. When it comes to marketing, like finance, the good thing, at least, let me give credit to finance, is that there's a couple of financial statements and the rules are there and everybody follows them. It's not the case with marketing. It's very subjective. So when you have a product launch, when I have webinars, when I am introducing my course, I put definitely more marketing budget during that period of time than, for example, the time that I don't have any launch, and I, for example, put that percentage into my product development. Marketing, one thing I ask is marketing, actually the product development is part of your marketing, but a lot of times when people say marketing, they mean only promotion. So there are a lot of factors into it, but 20% depend, again, from industry to industry, varies. For us in our businesses, the couple of businesses that we have, none of them is the same. So we have to see what works for you, as long as there's a strategy behind it. So for example, you're using something for getting new customers or keeping your customers or creating a loyalty program. It might require much more than that 20%. Really depends on a case-to-case and your strategy. Okay, financials, we talked about it, and I'm glad it was helpful. Thank you, Mona. You have touched on many points. That is huge value add, and already got my mind ticking on many aspects I know I have lacked in. And it said that it was my goal, and I'm glad that I managed to do that. Thank you for sharing your feedback with me. We will send you the replay. It will be live only for 72 hours, but please promise me that you will have an action plan, because I attended so many webinars. I remember one of them was Brian Tracy, a full day marketing seminar. And then after that, I was so passionate and I said, we will do this, we'll do that. After a day, I forgot about everything because we're all busy, right? All of those day-to-day things come and we forget about it. That's why I want you to take notes. That's what I do now. Every time I attend a webinar, I have one paper in front of me or a Word document. I just write all the new ideas that I have that I'm going to eventually take action and do. And then step by step, phase by phase, say, for example, I'm going to have my strategic planning next week. Don't schedule all of them also. Like people who want to change their lifestyle, all of a sudden they don't want to eat carb and sugar and they want to exercise. They do it for a week and then they forget about it. Gradually introduce these new habits into your life and to your business. Thanks for your feedback. My pleasure, Vila. I'm here to help. All right, ladies, thank you so much for staying with me. Thank you for all of your feedbacks. I look forward to talking to some of you soon and seeing you at our course or at our events. I'm delighted. It was an absolute pleasure to spend the last more than 90 minutes, almost 2 hours with all of you. Have a beautiful day, have a beautiful weekend, and keep investing in yourself, in your business, in your energy. That's when things start changing in our life. Have a beautiful day, and bye for now. Take care. I look forward to meeting you as well, Anissa. It will be my absolute pleasure. Bye, everyone.